Twakusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Twakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa, na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako siendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao wamezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. We have quorum. Clerk, we have quorum. Proceed.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. 1, the following legal notices from the Water Resources Authority. A, legal notice number 139 of 2024 relating to the Makamatargui Wetland Catchment Protection Order 2024. B, legal notice number 141 of 2024 relating to the Fafi Wetland Catchment Protection Order 2024. C, legal notice number 142 of 2024 relating to the Pui Wetland Catchment Protection Order 2024. Legal notice number 143 relating to the Mereroni Mbaruk Wetland Catchment Protection Order 2024. E, legal notice number 144 of 2024 relating to the Siani Wetland Catchment Protection Order 2024, and legal notice number 145 of 2024 relating to the Kibirong Wetland Catchment Protection Order 2024. 2, implementation status of the Special Funds Accounts Committee report for the financial year 2018, 2020, 2019, 2021, 2022 from the National Treasury and Economic Planning. 3, reports of the Auditor General and financial statements of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF, for the year ended 30th June 2023, and certificates therein in respect of the following constituencies: Dagoretti South, Gatundu North, Kibra, Limuru, Roysambo, and Starehe. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay. I thank you.
Thank you, Owen. Papers under Roman 1 refer to the Committee on Delegated Legislation, and paper under Roman 2 is referred to the Committee on Implementation. Chairperson, Select Committee on National Government Constituencies Development Fund, NGCDF. Musa Sirma. Majority Leader, where is the chairman of NGCDF?
I thought I saw Musa sitting somewhere here. I must have seen you.
Did you see him, or you saw the likeness of him?
I saw his figure around.
Yes, Clive?
Speaker, I'm a member of the committee. and he said he'll be here in 1 minute.
Pardon?
He's coming in 1 minute. I'm a member of that committee.
Okay, let's go to the next order. Honorable members, as you may be aware, the NGCDF was once again crucified for all the wrong reasons. And the case we have been having in court had a judgment on Friday, which judgment I'm sure you have all read. So after putting questions at order number 8 and 9, I've been requested by the leadership to allow you 1 hour to ventilate on the matter. There he comes. And in addition to that, there is a committee of lawyers in the House led by Senior Counsel Otienda Molo, Murugara, Osoro, Makali, and all the others, Mutuse, Wakili Mureu, Kaluma, Kajwang, who have been giving pro bono services to the House on this matter. I have invited them to a meeting tomorrow at 11 in the Speaker's boardroom, and I've invited your leaders, the majority and minority leaders, to join in so that they can brainstorm and see what remedial actions to take. Thereafter, sometime next week, I'll avail you a kamkunji to ventilate on the matter, and I want to tell the gracious lady members of constituency, county constituencies, that ukiona cha mwenzako kinanyolewa, chako, okay. We'll go back to Musa Sirma.
Apologies, Mr. Speaker, as I was collecting the document for coming late. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 24th of September 2024. Report of the Select Committee on National Government Constituency Development Fund on its consideration of the proposed budget ceiling for the constituencies for the financial year 2024-2025. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Let me confirm.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, let me give information to members. Today, the 24th of September, Mr. Speaker, I and the chairman of the Education Committee visited our able CS for Treasury, and he did a great job to us today. We managed to be, they released 7.8 billion shillings for the Constituency Development Fund, so the arrears is only 5.7. Mr. Speaker, we know it is late, but of course the situations are also very difficult. Mr. Speaker, this money is 3.4 billion from the Ministry of Education, which had been put on CDF, and the matching fund of 3.4 billion together comes to 7.8. And the members of the Nairobi, 1 billion shillings, which had been given, Mr. Speaker, has been released. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Oku Kaunya.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education regarding the delayed delivery of the modern equipment for Chamasiri Technical and Vocational College. Honorable Speaker, Chamasiri Technical and Vocational College was established in September 2019 with the aim of providing quality technical and vocational education. Currently, the institution has an enrollment of 1,700 students, demonstrating its importance in the education sector. On 10th December 2021, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, while on a visit of the Chamasiri TVC, conveyed the government's plan to provide modern training equipment that are through the funding of African Development Bank. However, despite this promise, the equipment was never delivered, and reports indicate that it was redirected to another technical institution. This matter was raised again in November 2023 during a visit by the then Cabinet Secretary for Education, Honorable Dr. Ezekiel Machogu, to the institution, who reassured the institution that the equipment would be delivered by March 2024. Indeed, the equipment arrived in the country in March this year. However, months later, it is yet to be delivered to the Chamasiri TVC. Honorable Speaker, the matter has persisted for 3 years and continues to pose significant challenges to the institutions and its students. The continued lack of practical equipment has severely impacted the quality of education, as students are forced to rely solely on theoretical instruction without the necessary tools for handling the learners. This situation not only defeats the entire essence of technical and vocational colleges, but also jeopardizes the skills development and future prospects of these students. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson, the Departmental Committee on Education, on the following. 1. Reasons why the equipment funded by the African Development Bank, which was initially intended for Chamasiri TVC, was diverted to another institution in another constituency. Number 2, reasons for the delay in delivering the newly received equipment to Chamasiri TVC, despite being received several months ago. Number 3, specific timelines for delivery of this equipment to Chamasiri TVC, including measures to avert further delays in this matter. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chair, Committee of Education. Where is Melly? Yes, 2 weeks, Honorable Maluli Njendi.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we'll invite the CS to our committee, but I also want to alert the member that we usually invite also members when the CS is making a presentation, so that the member can also get information from the CS directly during the committee sitting. Thank you.
Thank you. Owen Bayer.
Request for statement regarding the implementation of a nuclear power plant project at Uyombo, Kilifi North constituency. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairpersons of the departmental committees on energy and environment, forestry and mining, regarding the implementation of a nuclear power plant project in Uyombo Village, Masangoni Ward, Kilifi North constituency. Honorable Speaker, the Nuclear Power and Energy Agency, NUPEA, is a state corporation established under the Energy Act 2019 with a mandate to promote and implement Kenya's nuclear power programs, including carrying out research, development, and capacity building in the energy sector. NUPEA recently initiated the process of implementing a nuclear power plant project in Uyombo, Masangoni Ward, Kilifi North constituency, and put up a mast at the location. Honorable Speaker, the production of nuclear energy is a delicate and dangerous process that threatens the existence of people in its surroundings. Further, the people of Uyombo have rejected the implementation of a power plant project due to risks that will negatively affect their lives and generations to come. This project poses significant risks such as radioactive reactions and leaks, nuclear waste disposal, permanent destruction of the ecosystem, and lack of capacity to handle accidents. Moreover, it will impact their fishing activities and the tourism industry at large. Honorable Speaker, Article 10, as read together with Article 69 of the Constitution, prohibits implementation of any public project without public participation. While NUPEA partially complied with this provision, concerns have been raised to the way the exercise was conducted. The public participation was marred by use of excessive force, discrimination against the people of Uyombo, harassment and unlawful arrests of locals who are apparently being coerced to accept the implementation of the project on their land. Honorable Speaker, Article 43 of the Constitution also entitles individuals whose land is compulsorily acquired by the government to receive certain compensation. Notably, the nuclear power plant project is being implemented on land belonging to individuals, persons who possess legal ownership documents of the land and face the risk of being relocated from their land. Regrettably, implementation of the project without compliance to the law and adherence to the directives and guidelines has deprived the people of Uyombo of their rights in accordance to Article 42, as read together with Article 70 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, although the project has been proposed to be implemented only in Uyombo, Masangoni Ward, Kilifi North constituency, there is a real existential threat to the whole country in the unfortunate event of a disaster. Many countries have discouraged nuclear energy production and refrained from it due to its dangerous impacts. African countries, including Kenya, have yet to demonstrate their ability to handle nuclear disaster, making Uyombo nuclear project a big risk. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Energy and Environment, Forestry and Mining on the following. Could the committee jointly conduct an inquiry to establish whether there is a breach of constitutional provisions, and if so, provide a detailed report with recommendation on the implementation of the project to ensure proper processes are followed for the safety of the community. 2, clarify whether public participation was conducted within the parameters of the law, considering that the majority views which rejected implementation of such a project were ignored. 3, provide details of the environmental assessment report of the project. 4, also inquire into the arbitrary arrests and use of excessive force on the people of Uyombo in apparent bid to force them to accept the project. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, clarify whether Kenya is prepared to handle a nuclear disaster, and if so, provide the policy measures put in place to handle such disasters. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Chairman of Energy, Kawaya. Any member of the committee? Yes, 2 weeks. Bring a statement in 2 weeks. Thank you. John Carrier, member for Dagoretti South.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to request a statement regarding the renewal of standardization mark from the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives regarding the renewal of the standardization mark from the Kenya Bureau of Standards, also known as KEBS. Honorable Speaker, in 2023, KEBS revised the standardization mark, SM, permit, extending the validity period from 1 year to 2 years. This change raised concern among businesses, particularly small and medium enterprises, SMEs, as an annual renewal period aligns better with their financial planning, operational cycles, and ensures product quality and safety in a rapidly evolving business environment. Moreover, questions have arisen about the alignment of this two-year cycle to KEB's mandate of supporting fair competition in the country. Honorable Speaker, it is also deeply concerning that companies restarting operations after COVID-19 related shutdowns are facing back pay penalties by KEBs. These penalties impose a significant financial burden on businesses already struggling to recover from economic hardships. Such measures hinder rather than support job creation and economic recovery, which are crucial for the growth of the nation. Instructively, the regulatory environment should support businesses, especially SMEs, in their efforts to create jobs and to contribute to economic development. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives on the following. 1, the rationale behind extending the validity period of the standardization mark and the impact of these on product quality and the fair competition, especially for SMEs. Number 2, justification for imposing back pay penalties on businesses restarting after COVID-19 related shutdowns. And 3, Mr. Speaker, the measures that the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry is taking to ensure the regulatory environment supports SMEs in economic recovery rather than penalizing these businesses that are recovering from the COVID-19 shutdown. Mr. Speaker, I thank you. I signed this statement on the 13th of August, 2024. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, KJ. Chair Trade, Kakuya, Vice Chair.
Chair, you can give us 3 weeks.
How many?
3 weeks.
Standard time is 2 weeks. Why do you want 3?
We are requesting for 3 weeks because we know we have the bill on cooperatives that we need to finish.
Okay.
So because of
3
that, we're
weeks.
requesting 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Thank you.
Response to a statement by Adan Kainan, right? Yes. Tongoyo, are you ready to respond to the statement of Honorable Kainan?
Yes, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Member of Parliament for Eldas constituency, Honorable Adan Kainan, has requested for a statement regarding the disappearance of the Member of Assembly for Dela Ward, Honorable Yusuf Hussein. And in particular, he wanted specifically circumstances under which Honorable Hussein was abducted and the status of investigation into his mysterious disappearance, which was reported at Makadara Police Station. And of course, the step that the relevant government security agencies have taken to ensure that the missing MCA is expeditiously traced and reunited with these people, and the security measures that the government has taken to guarantee safety of all leaders in order to protect them from potential incidents of kidnapping and other form of violence. Honorable Speaker, I want to state as follows. On 13 September 2024, at around 2140, Wambua Kioko reported through a phone call via OPIN number 8613, September 2024, the abduction of his passenger. The reportee is an Uber driver and a resident of Embakasi, stated that while within South Sea, Halala Estate, he received an online request from the customer to be dropped at Mangani Heights Estate. However, along Lusaka Road.
Yes, Honorable Kamket, what is out of order? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the matter the Honorable Chair is responding to is very serious. It involves an elected member. And the decibels of consultations are too high for us to listen, to hear what the Honorable Chair is saying.
Okay. Order, members. Those who are consulting, do so in lower tones. Tongoyo, endelea.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So I just want to pick from where I left. On 13th, on 2024, that around 2140, Wambua Kioko reported through a phone call, via OB number 8613 of September 2024, the abduction of his passenger. The reportee, Honorable Speaker, is an Uber driver and a resident of Embakasi. He stated that while within South Sea, Halala Estate, he received an online request from a customer to be dropped at Pangani Heights. However, along Lusaka Road, past Lusaka Enterprise roundabout and near Ola petrol station, a black Prado motor vehicle whose registration number was not captured blocked them. 3 men who had masked their faces alighted from the said Prado and opened the passenger door of the taxi, where the passenger was seated. They grabbed and pulled him out of the car before dragged him to their Prado. The passenger dropped his mobile phone and make iPhone 13 inside the Uber during the commotion. The abductors further robbed the Uber driver of his telephone number, a Samsung Galaxy A025 make, valued at around 14,000, and a cash amounting to 250, before speeding off with the victim. The scene was visited, and it was established that the abductee is the Honorable Yusuf Hussein Ahmed, the MCA for Dala and Nole Ward, Elder constituency in Wajir County. Honorable Speaker, the case is still under investigation and the search is still ongoing at the time of writing this response. On the third question, Honorable Speaker, the following measures has been taken to ensure the security. The National Police Service has made as the mandate of providing security to all Kenyans in all parts of this country, and the police officers are therefore continuously sensitizing on upholding the rule of law and constitutionalism. And any leader who is intimidated or harassed is encouraged to report to the nearest police station, and investigation will be commenced without delay. Creating awareness to all members of the public to report any suspicious character within their location, and the intensifying both mobile and foot patrol. And the adoption of multi-agency approach in collection of intelligence and the heightening of security surveillance. So, Honorable Speaker, you know this matter was brought last week before you, and we also share the concern of Kenan and other members from that region, that truly this is a very sensitive matter because it concerns the elected leader, and the police are still searching the MCA, and we want to ensure Kenyans and this House that the culprits will be brought to the books, and we are going to do anything within humanly possible to able to bring this person, the missing MCA. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Kainan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you have had on 13th September this month, an elected leader from my constituency, from one of the wards, was abducted. That is 14 days ago. Mr. Speaker, one of the platforms this regime used when they were campaigning was that there will be no abductions, there will be no illegal confinement, and there will be no extrajudicial killings. Mr. Speaker, the statement issued by the chairman, and I must admit that it's just a conveyor belt, lacks substance completely and does not allude to the circumstances of the missing leader. Mr. Speaker, here is a situation. You know, everywhere in Nairobi right now there are CCTVs. Everywhere in Nairobi there are CCTVs, Mr. Speaker. Is an elected leader. The road, the Enterprise Road, just next to where this particular leader was abducted, has so many CCTVs, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, by now, those who are in charge of this particular sector know the identities of the tormentors of this particular MCA. They know the details of the cars. They know everything, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, while it is the right of every Kenyan to enjoy the right to be heard, the right to be tried fairly, this era of illegal confinement, Mr. Speaker, and abduction is something that has never been anticipated in the current constitution, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, this answer, as it is right now, has not said anything, has not shed any light. He only said we are investigating. 14 days, Mr. Speaker, since an elected leader has, of course, every Kenyan has the right to security, but here is an elected leader, Mr. Speaker. He is still missing. Mr. Speaker, I want to also table, Mr. Speaker, just for the information, that on 6 August, this particular leader was summoned by the County Security and Intelligence Committee of Wajir, Mr. Speaker, and this is what the letter says. The Honorable Yusuf Hussein, MCA, Anole Delaware, the telephone meeting with the County Security Committee of Wajir. You are told you are requested to, I've just learned this, Mr. Speaker, and this is what the letter says. You are requested to attend a meeting on Thursday, 8 August 2024, at the County Commissioner's Office, Wajir, at 10 a.m. The County Security and Intelligence Committee...
Kainan, you seem to be reading from a faded copy of a letter.
It's a copy, Mr. Speaker. It's an official letter. I'll give it to you. I'll hand over. You can counter-check. It's official.
Okay.
And I'm too old, Mr. Speaker, to bring anything that is not properly validated. Mr. Speaker, the County Security and Intelligence Committee wishes to discuss with you issues touching on the security within Dela and Nollywood. I want to table this document, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, taking this into account, this is a lead document. Meaning, therefore, there must have been some issues between that particular MCA and the County Security Committee. If that has been escalated to the national level, we are not saying he has committed crime or he has not committed crime, Mr. Speaker. But if truly this person who has been missing, why don't you produce him and take him to court? And therefore, Mr. Speaker, this answer, and I empathize with my good friend Gabriel, you have not said anything. They have not given you anything. In fact, they are setting you up. This answer has not said anything at all, on the whereabouts of that particular leader. And therefore, Mr. Speaker...
Pass on the letter to him. You have made the point. Bashir? Major Bashir, give him the mic. 1 minute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I listened to the response by the minister concerned through the chair, and I can attest to the fact that that response is very, very shallow. Honorable Speaker, the individual abducted is an elected MCA, and it's not a coincidence that on the 8th of September, he was summoned by the County Security Committee, and on 13th, he disappeared. And I think the era of abductions is something that is still with us, unfortunately. So we call upon the government, especially the security agencies, to immediately and urgently find where the MCA is. The family is agonizing. They don't know what to say. And the worst part is that the National Police Service has not even come to address this matter and even talking to the families concerned to tell them what they're doing about it. We want them to do what they are supposed to do, to protect lives and properties of Kenyans. And we ask them to tell us where this elected MCA is at this point in time. It's now 2 weeks since his abduction. And there are CCTV cameras in the whole of this country, especially in Nairobi. How come they are unable to know who abducted the MCA? The Uber that he has used has recorded a statement. They can see it. He knows However, the CCTV cameras cannot be traced is unfortunate also. So we ask
Thank
that
you,
that statement
Jemo.
is not.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have listened to the response of the chairman of the committee I belong to. It's not sufficient, Mr. Speaker. It's 14 days since the honorable member was abducted. It's very unfortunate, sad to the people who elected him, to the people, to the county he comes from, Mr. Speaker. We are unable to stay our homes. We are unable to do our day-to-day activities because of this honorable member who is missing. All indications are there, Mr. Speaker, to show that this indeed honorable member is taken by the people we suspect. We demand the security agencies, Mr. Speaker, to bring back our honorable member, to bring back the honorable member for Anole Dela Ward, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we don't know how we are going to go back to our constituency and county if this honorable member is not brought back to his people. It's on that note that I'm asking my chair, the committee that I belong to, Mr. Chair, it's a matter of urgency that we bring back our son, our leader. If today a honorable member is missing, then it doesn't make any sense. Anyone can miss any time, any day, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Yes, Tongoyo.
Honorable Speaker, first of all, I think I did actually indicate that I really feel the frustration from the members from the said county.
Had you seen the letter whose copy
I haven't, and I think as it should be treated, not to be as it is for now, Honorable Speaker, the instability of the letter is in question. Maybe we need your guidance. But having said this, Mr. Speaker, we all know such situations, investigation could be complex. And the members already alluding or making a suggestion that it is the officer, the MCA was abducted by the security agency, which cannot be substantiated either. So I would rather we leave it open. The investigation is ongoing, but we should not conclude that he was abducted by the security agency. That is an assumption, Mr. Speaker.
What you do, Honorable Tongoyo, that letter, that no soliciting, that letter has a telephone number, and on the face of it, the signatory is a DC, or you call them what? Is a county commissioner rather. So get the letter after authentication by the clerk, then get to your team at internal security and bring back additional information on this on Thursday afternoon. Yes.
Thank you so much for that guidance, Mr. Speaker. I want to confirm, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
I want to confirm beyond reasonable doubt that that letter comes from the County Security Committee, and therefore here it is. Mr. Speaker, I also want to table an affirmation by one great Kenyan taxi driver called Wambua Kioko. Is also an affirmation, and the oath, I also want to table it because the content is also very clear, so that as the chairman responds to this,
Okay, Nan, the taxi driver's testimony is not disputed. Tongoya said...
I want to give him the whole detail, Mr. Speaker, the whole affirmation,
Yes.
the whole, so that, for the benefit, so that he benefits also from this. But Mr.
Okay.
Speaker, finally allow me to say this. You have been around. You have gone through the ladder. You have served the three arms, actually, let me say, almost the three arms of government. You know what it is.
Not almost, I have.
You have served the three arms of government, and you know what it takes. Mr. Speaker, no amount, and I want to Togoyo and other groups to hear this, no amount of blackmail, no amount of intimidation, no amount of whatever somebody wants to do will allow us to forget the existence of Honorable Yusuf Hussein. Those who are holding him, I want them to hear where I am. I want them to hear what I'm saying. We will not allow you to get away with that crime. Produce Honorable Yusuf in court. Yes. That is what the due process demands. We will not allow. Produce him to court. Produce him in court. Deal with him in court. But hold him in, Mr. Speaker. We will not allow it. That is not the modern day Kenya. that we want.
Give the papers to the
And the-
clerks. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge the following schools in the gallery. Kalulini Comprehensive School from Kibwezi West, Makueni. Oak Tree Primary School from Mavoko, Machakos. Timao AI PCA Mother Council from Buri, Meru. Kamwiru Boys Secondary School, Kirinyaga Central, Kirinyaga. Honorable Kaimenyi, Women Leader Meru, has asked me to acknowledge the Mother Council from Timau. You can do so in 1 minute and welcome the rest of the schools on our behalf. Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I really want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to welcome the Mother Council from African Independent Pentecostal Church of East Africa, of which I belong. They are from Timao in Bori constituency. I also wish to thank them for the forward-looking. As you can see, Mr. Speaker, these are ladies, young ladies, and I want to congratulate them for their efforts, showing leadership even as they are ladies. Sometimes we think the reverse gender is more forward-looking, but you can see they are just ladies from Mother Council. Mother Council is the leadership of that church. Mr. Speaker, I also wish to thank also the students who are here with us and acknowledge them for wanting to have more knowledge even regarding this parliament. So please feel welcome and thank you again, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on Thursday, 19 September 2024, on my behalf, the Chair of the Health Committee, Honorable Pukose, issued a statement, the usual Thursday statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 17 September 2024, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, it was indicated to the House that the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry would appear before the House to answer questions tomorrow, Wednesday, 25th September 2024. However, I am in receipt of a letter from the Cabinet Secretary stating that he is out of the country on official duties. He is accompanying His Excellency the President to the Republic of Kenya to the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA 79 in New York. Honorable Speaker, following further consultations, we have scheduled the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports to respond to questions that touch on the following thematic areas. A, state of preparedness of key sporting facilities to host international events. 2, 1, appraise on the state of preparedness of the country in terms of infrastructure facilities and other logistics to successfully host international sporting events, more specifically the planned hosting of the African Nations Championship, CHAN, and the Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON. 2, state the current condition of key sports facilities in the country, including their maintenance, modernization, and suitability for hosting international events. And 3, provide specific measures on strategies put in place by the ministry to accelerate the completion of the stalled or incomplete stadiums across the country. B is facilitation of national sports teams, to state the measures in place to ensure timely preparation, coordination, management, and facilitation of sports teams to represent the country in various sporting disciplines. And C, Honorable Speaker, is a mandate of the Kenya Academy of Sports to 1, appraise on the challenges facing the Kenya Academy of Sports in the development of grassroots talent in the country and the measures to address the challenges. And 2,
outline the number of sports academies that have been set up nationwide, including details of their effectiveness at the grassroots level, and whether there are strategies in place to ensure their continuity. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Next order.
Order number 8, the Mark Beans Bill, Senate Bill number 13 of 2022, second reading, question to be put.
Thank you. Order, members on their feet, take your seats. Members on their feet, Busia Women Rep, take your seat. Honorable members, now I put the question at the order number 8, which is that the Mang Beans Bill, Senate Bill number 13 of 2022, be now read a second time. As many of that opinion say aye. As many of the contrary opinion say nay. The nays have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, enhancing reporting of parliamentary business on online platforms. Question to be put.
Order, members on their feet, take your seats again. Take your seats. Honorable Naisula and the member for Bumula, take your seats. Honorable Ruku, take your seat. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 9, which is that this House adopts the report of the Select Committee on Parliamentary Broadcasting and Library on enhancing reporting of parliamentary business on online platforms, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 4th October 2023. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I had promised you that I'll allow you 1 hour to ventilate on the issue of NGCDF, and I'll invite your leaders, starting with the Majority Leader on NGCDF judgment, and then followed by the Minority Leader. If we can give them 5 minutes each, then the rest of the members, you can take 2 minutes each. Is that okay? If we say 5 and you have 1 hour, very few will speak. So let's do 3. Kimani Chungwa, you can go with 5 minutes. Junet, be ready with 5 minutes.
Got independence, Mr. Speaker. In our place, we say CDF is our government. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask myself, the framers of the current constitution, if you read Article 1, sovereignty has been equated to representation. Who are these busybodies who want to disregard representation, Mr. Speaker, and rubbish the role of the elected members of parliament, Mr. Speaker? I have one message for you. We have seen the actions, the inactions, the activities, the inadvertence of these busybodies, whoever they are. Can you stand firm? Can you stand firm as members of parliament? It's not about the usual complaining, no. Can you stand firm, bring a constitutional amendment so that we entrench the NCDF in the constitution so that we remove it from the ambit of this gullible and vulnerable busybody, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, for how long shall we deny Kenyans the right to enjoy a piece of the national cake, Mr. Speaker? I'm shocked and dismayed, Mr. Speaker, to see a ruling, and ideally, Mr. Speaker, the role of the 3 arms of government, Mr. Speaker, is interdependent, is to support each other for the good of the well-being of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. But when you have a targeted approach, Mr. Speaker, to rubbish one arm, then doesn't add value. Mr. Speaker, finally, what I want to say is this. When the members of parliament are elected here, or those, the framers of the current constitution, Mr. Speaker, Some of the functions have been devolved. After this, you will hear provincial administration is illegal because NCDF only covers education and national security. Are those two functions, Mr. Speaker, county functions? They are not county functions. These are national functions. So, colleagues, if you want to remain relevant, I know it's not the ambit of the members of parliament because we have delinked NCDF from the member of parliament. It's completely an independent entity. That still is being pushed to the member of parliament. I beg you, if you want to remain relevant, if you want your constituents to develop, stand firm, wake up tomorrow, put your heads together, put this entity, entrench it in the constitution so that there is no room for any busybodies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Kadambi. Charity Kadambi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Allow me to contribute like my colleagues. In this country, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would wonder which Kenyan has not seen the changes which CDF has really brought in this country. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, my issue is to remind people that what CDF is doing in this country, I doubt if there is another fund which is doing what CDF is doing. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, with the changes, with the poor children we are taking to schools, with the schools we are changing, with the security offices we are constructing, with the administration offices we are doing, Mr. Speaker, sir, I am so much worried that there is people up to now, they have not seen what is happening. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I am contributing because myself being the second-term member of parliament in Joro constituency, what I have done in my constituency, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, sir, for the first term is what has brought me the second term. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I'm standing here to remind our colleagues, let us unite this journey. This is war against development. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is now the high time we united as members of parliament. We change even if it means changing the constitution so that we can make sure that the CDF is well anchored in the constitution. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have gotten a lot of challenge every time. Whichever time we are doing our works as members of parliament from single constituencies, actually we are not at peace because every time we are distracted by so many cases in the courts. And Mr. Speaker, sir, as I'm standing here today, Kenyans are asking, are they safe? Are their children going to go to schools? Are they expecting more constructions of schools when they have seen the challenge which has taken recently in the courts? Mr. Speaker, sir, let me confirm that Kenyans are worried that today there is a threat for the CDF. Therefore, for colleagues, please let us wake the 290 constituencies. Let us protect the development. Let us fight for our children. Let us fight for the development for this constituency through CDF. Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you very much. It is for us to unite and say no to whoever is against our development matters. Thank you.
Yes, Chairman CDF. I would have thought you should have been the last to speak on this. Oh. Yes. You are the committee chair. Listen to others. You'll speak last. Naisula. Chairman, hold your horses.